Good afternoon, evening, everyone. Thank you for watching, and hopefully everyone had a good Thanksgiving, or if you're not in the United States, hopefully you had a good weekend. This old girl's back in service. Her bellows were changed, and she's got a modification. So, do a load of towels, 5 big towels, really big, like oversized towels, and a few normal sized towels. One normal sized towel, and then 3 what I would consider like hand towels for the bathroom. I'm going to set the phone down real quick. Grab the detergent. That is a 1960 cap inside of the machine. That was a one-year only kind of thing. And I've got one lint chaser on there. So, of course, we've got hot water. Now, this machine, prior to me getting the previous video, I had to manually fill the machine. The hot water valve was stuck open, so I'd run it on a cold rinse and soak, which you have all these options. This machine is probably one of the most well-optioned Frigidaires. They came a long way. You've got an extra rinse, soak and wash, which is kind of pointless. Small load, cold rinse, soak, cold wash, even more well-optioned than the 63. And you'll notice this is in the spot of the 63. So here's your how to use your Frigidaire washer. So this machine needed to rebuild the water. I rebuilt the water valve in it and needed new bellows. That was taken care of by a friend of mine earlier this year. And what else did it need? Can't remember what else. I think that was the 2 biggest issues with it. It does squeak a teeny bit. I think eventually I'm going to have to tear apart the mechanism. But for now, it runs. It does a really good job. I also put in an agitator, correct for the Multimatic, the 63. I have one of those agitators. But I don't see a point. I wanted to do something different in this machine. A friend of mine, Steve, he said the ultimate machine to have would be to have one of these with a rapid dry, which this one does, with one of these agitators. So I kind of came up with my own version of it. I just took the extra agitator pieces that I had, this cap, that lint chaser, and then I have a really nice energy ring down there. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. But Steve up in Roanoke, a couple of the machines that I filmed, he's the one that came up with the idea of, well, he's the one that put the idea in my mind, and I decided to go along with it. And just like everything else, it kind of does overfill. But it should be about done. Yeah, it's overfilling. Alright, it's got a little hum. Come on, old girl. There it goes. That is a lot of towels, and look at that. jet cone could never do anything like that. Without that jet cone, this thing is pretty quiet. It overfills. I got it. I had it almost an extra minute on it, and I think that sound was the water valve. Something was acting a little funky. I don't know, but it's all right if you have to walk the agitator. I mean, you have to walk the timer. You can see delicate, even on delicate, look at the rollover. It's still rolling it over. That was about 2/3 of a cup of Cheer detergent. It's also got your automatic dispensers. Dummy cracked that, but if I ever I'm gonna hopefully find a new panel for this machine. But I'm gonna super glue that eventually. I just getting other stuff fixed. Finally had the time to fix it this over Thanksgiving, and decided to take the 63 out and swap them out. Now that will be warm. Yep. And it has an option for a cold rinse and soak. I don't know about you guys, but the temperature here has dropped in North Carolina. And our cold water is now probably in the 50s or maybe even in the 40s. We've had a couple of nights where it's gotten down 20s. Early for this time of year. You can see the lint chaser's doing its job, pushing all that soap scum out of the way. There we go. A little bit better, hopefully, for the lighting. This is nice to put the light right above the machine, don't have to worry about the light. I promise I'll get a GoPro or something like that eventually where I can mount it. Don't have to sit here and hold the camera like a dummy. I do believe this one's 1.5 minutes. I think I could be wrong though. Should be coming up soon where it stops. Or 1 minute something. I might squeak a little bit. Next increment of the timer. Spin. Now this machine I think does like a 300 something RPM spin. Then it goes up to 695. It only does the rapid dry in the 2 minutes of the final spin on the wash and the extra rinse. It does not do it in the soak cycle. Why? I don't know. Timer's running, you can barely hear it. There it goes. Pretty balanced. Alright, so you can see the agitator in there. That's the agitator, detergent column. I got the lint chaser on there, and then I've got this ring, the energy ring. Now the energy ring is supposed to be a gray, like a dark gray. Here, it's pumping out the water right now, and I'm just checking. Pump on this one works pretty good, surprisingly. Knock on wood. Alright, next increment. It'll go. Right now it's just pumping the water out of the outer tub, and it's just getting those clothes. Just get some of the water out of the clothes. Now this is where it starts getting more of the water out of the clothes, and you can barely hear it squeaking just a hair. Sorry, I just dropped a couple plates from work. I use those plates to put them underneath the machines. So there's 695. even 695, still the fastest thing out there. I don't think anything else, especially not in this time frame, nothing else spun as fast as this machine did. Now, like the Multimatics, this machine, as it stops, and the brake, as it coasts down to a stop, it will sorry, accidentally hit something else. As the machine stops, the water valve opens. So, yep, you get a little bit of water. And I think the purpose, might be wrong here, I'm just guessing, but it might be the purpose is even while it's spinning, all that water is going up over the top of it. And I think it's just kind of like a suds kill, maybe. I could be wrong, though, because Frigidaire didn't have a spray rinse until the 1 to 18s. And that was 1970, so these were the last solid tubs. Now the later models, I do believe this is 1966. 65 had a similar timer glass, but 67, I believe, it was kind of like that square looking glass right here. I have a dryer, but I do not have a washer. I'm looking for a washer eventually. But we'll see how it does. The nice thing about this machine is the water valve was nice and easy to rebuild. It's not a special type. It's just, I ordered a part off eBay. One of the other side, I soaked it in some vinegar, and you can soak it in CLR, but you have to be careful. You don't get it on the porcelain, it will damage the porcelain. Do that, and then I soaked it for about 2 hours, cleaned it with an old toothbrush, got it ready to go, put it back together with the new side and then the original cold, and it works like a charm. So far, so good. Pressure tested it before I put it in the machine, hooked it up to the water while it was still out of the wall, and I always shut the water off whenever I'm done with the machine anyways. But that's still nice and warm. A lot better than the cold water is. But you can do a cold rinse and soak, and you'll see it only opens the cold. Now, if you want to cancel, go up here, cancel. It shoves the button back out. This machine, this is your reset button right there. And that's when things get a little too crazy. Now this it might overfill a little bit, but that's alright, it's the rinse. Tub's a little further back than it should be. It should be about even. And I think that's because something underneath's a little too tight. But I could be wrong. I'm not a Rollermatic expert. This machine, I originally got it. I got it from a friend of mine. He got it from up north, and it was still being used. So when I got it, I tried using it. It didn't work. It needed a motor start capacitor. Well, it was dual rated, so that was a pain in the butt. Thankfully, Greg Nunn from Automatic Launcher, his username Gansky, he helped determine what was wrong with it, and then he also gave me a quick schematic on how to hook it up properly. So here we go. And you can see that thing just rips them from the side. And that water is already pretty clear. Not horrible. A little bit of soap scum forming up at the top, but nothing too bad. Got a nice smell to it. minute or so, whatever it is. I think this one's like minute 40 or something funky like that. I can't remember. Too many machines to remember their average time. Considering how nasty that water was before, and you can already see, I put my hand down in there, you can kind of still see my hand pretty well. That top layer of soap scum is kind of dirty. But you can hear the pump, kind of sounds funky. Does like a weird humming noise. So look at that rollover. This is the way they should have made the Rollermatic. I like the jet cone, but not like, it doesn't do as good of a job as these. Still a little bit longer. The rinse on this machine is pretty good too, I'll believe it or not. I haven't used it in so long. This is like the second or third time I've used it. The first time I filmed it entirely through a cycle. It's doing good pretty so far. That rinse water is already looking pretty clear. Well, not perfectly clear, but it's looking pretty good. If I wanted to, I could go back and reset it in the eye, or a minute or increment or two behind and get an extra rinse out of it, but I'm not going to bother. Now, if you want to do the extra rinse, it'll automatically go over and do the extra rinse, but I don't see the need for that. Sometime I will demonstrate it to show you guys what it does and how it does it. But right now, don't worry about it. I don't know if the 64 machines came with an extra rinse option or not. The 63 has a really long rinse, so it doesn't really need an extra rinse. But by this time, a lot of manufacturers already were coming out with extra rinses, so I think Frigidaire had to keep up with everybody. So let's see what she does. Those clothes are in there pretty well. See how much of a knotted mess they are when it's done. Final spin will spin its first minute going to 3-something hundred RPM, then it'll go to 695, then it jumps up to the rapid dry. And I believe it shifts the rollers to do so. There it goes. That's $6.95, I believe. Then sometime, I think in the next increment, it'll put the high-speed roller on, and it makes it spin even faster. It goes up to 1010. Now, please, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember exactly how it works, but maybe the motor kicks up to a higher speed. I can't remember. Two-speed motor. The 65s came with a motor kind of like the Unimatics, where it's spun up to achieve its spin speed. This machine uses a clutch, and they're a pain. There it goes, right there. Now it's going to get even faster and 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 faster. That's about right there. And of course the door jiggles when I'm on camera. It doesn't do it any other time. Pretty quiet. Hardly any, there's a teeny bit of movement, but nothing too crazy. And it spends its final 2 minutes with the rapid dry on. Now, if you had like a special cycle, it'd only go to that. I think it'd only go to the slow spin speed, but I think might go to the second one. Actually, this will tell us. Gentle. Yeah, the only two that do it. Regular white color fast, regular non-color fast. So basically the two settings that you use the most. Sometime I might do a special. I might have to do some pillows in this thing. There it goes. All right. Now the timer is still running, and it'll automatically kick itself off afterwards. But these towels still came out nicely, and I'll show you guys how big one of these towels are. This is the one that had 5 in there. This is, this is a big towel. It's not a little towel. And even with that rapid dry, throw them over into the dryer. Shouldn't be long, and they'll be ready to go. But you can see this was a big load. I might have been able to get another small towel or two. But you can see what a difference, and it just kicked off. You can see what a difference between this and the jet cone. I'm going to keep it like this for a while. You can see that's it's got the indentations of the tub knocked into it. That's alright. So this is the 66 Custom Imperial. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Again, I apologize for stopping in the middle of it. And there will be more videos in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions, please let me know. Thank you.